Hello and welcome to Dysfunctional Dialogue. I'm John McParland, your host, and with me today is my oldest friend. I'm not going to say he's a great guy. I'm not going to say you're going to like him because he's going to hold it against me. Steve Macaluso.
Hey.
What's rejoicing?
I'm not your oldest friend. You have friends older than me.
Well,
Just
you're the longest.
Well, yeah, you could say that too.
The longest.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have said that. I am the longest.
Well, so you had we've talked about before about possibly having a story. I mean, look, you and I, yes. we've got a ton of stories between us and all. But I'm not saying you have to limit it to just that. But just if you come up with...
Yeah, because that was funny because you said, it doesn't have to involve me.
Right.
When you said that. And I was like, well, most of my good stories,
right.
You know them because you were there. But
whether I remember them or not is another story, though.
Yeah, and I thought about it. And one of my favorite stories took place in Chris Patrick's basement.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Am I going to be able to cast this?
Yeah. I mean, can I use his last name or should we just call him Chris?
No, just Chris. That's all we ever called him. So
yeah, it was Chris. So. And I mean,
he'll know who he is.
Yes, Chris. As Chris, a great guy, but a little on the odd side.
Yeah, and he'd be the first one to admit that.
Yeah.
He takes pride in fact.
Yep. And he wasn't above, putting firecrackers in his freezer and stuff like that, and just doing off.
I forgot about that. I forgot that he put firecrackers.
Yeah, remember? We blew up a bag of peas, and then we put a bottle rocket in his freezer, and we burnt the hole through a loaf of bread.
Oh man, no, I did forget about that, but I do remember.
We used to hang out in his basement when we were younger, and
sure,
listen to all the music, and we'd get beer or something like that, and we'd be sitting down there, and in the winter it was a little chilly down there because it was it was his basement. It was a little damp. So we're sitting around and we're like, hey, Chris, how about a little fire down here? Just joking around. Right?
Yeah. And now for anybody else in the world, that would be where it would stop.
It would be like, what are you guys, crazy?
Yeah. Or just like, what a funny little thing.
Fire. And he was willing in he grabbed that cardboard box.
I
think it was the cardboard box that the 8-packs get and the nips came in, the beer.
Yes, that sounds right. Lowenbrau's, 8-pack of Lowenbrau's probably.
Yeah, puts it in the center of his basement and lights that thing on fire.
Oh, God.
And within minutes, the flames were incredible. Smoke is filling the room. And you grabbed me by the shoulder and yelled, Dick Van Dyke, grab me to the ground. So the smoke was rising.
Because of that commercial.
Yes,
it was like a public service announcement or Dick Van Dyke had done.
Get down. The house. Yep. So then Chris runs upstairs and gets a pot of water and dumps it on this fire.
Wow.
So now he's got a smoke throughout the house. We had to remember, we had to open all the windows.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was the middle of winter. So the smoke finally clears. Now there's there's a huge puddle in his basement on the floor with just a bunch of towels thrown on it. A wet, burnt cardboard box. And we're just hanging out there. There's a knock on the door and a couple of Chris's friends stop by and come downstairs. And they look at Chris like with surprise on their face. And his whole explanation to the whole thing was, yeah, we're having a little bit of a party down here. And that was it. Yeah. He didn't, nothing. That was it.
In his mind, that encapsulated the entire scenario.
Yes.
Anybody else would have done that, and with the exception of maybe my brother Jim, would have done that in like 2 paragraphs worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And Jim would have just been like burnt.
Yeah. These assholes got me to start a fire down there. He didn't blame us. He didn't blame anybody. It wasn't a problem for him. He wasn't upset by it.
Amazing. Yeah. I remember that distinctly. Yeah, there's no doubt that that he was and probably still is quite the special character.
Oh well, I mean, you don't follow him on Facebook or anything, do you?
No,
You're not really on Facebook.
no. Well, I'm on there, but just, I tend not to go on there other than to see.
He's on all the time. He's like a B movie actor, kind of.
Yeah, he was like doing stand up right for a while.
Well, he still does his song parodies.
Does he?
Yeah, but he's in these like movies that go straight to. I don't know if they're online or what they are, but I mean, and you can go on, you can go and see on his page, and he'll show you the scenes and stuff like that. And I mean, but it's kind of weird because you got to know Chris to say, it's just typical Chris.
Well, that's it. See, it was always kind of an inside joke, but I love the fact that he's letting the whole world in on the inside joke.
Yes,
You
yes.
know? Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you remember when he remember he used to ride his bike into New York to go to the record stores and stuff like that? He used to ride his bike into New York City.
Yeah, he would like take it on like Route 4 or Route 80 and go over
Yeah,
the GW Bridge.
yeah.
And he actually went all the way
And
downtown often.
the one day it got stolen. His bike got stolen when he was in the record shop. He came out, his bike was gone, so he approached two of the policemen. They were sitting in their car, and the question he asked them was, "Hey, what do you guys do with the stolen bikes around here?"
Like he was looking to fence him.
Yeah, what do you guys do with the stolen bikes? Like they knew, all the stolen bikes are here. Like
Yeah,
it was,
that's right. Yeah, we want to go down. You want to go down to West 4th Street.
and about 2 blocks later, he found it. He saw some guy with his bike, and he said, "That's mine." And the guy gladly just gave it back to him, and he rode it home.
It was before the days of e-bikes. The guy probably thought it was sitting there. He was like, oh, this is a community bike. I'm going to take this down the block.
Yes.
Fucking A, Chris. Yeah, man, that's really something else. There's a lot of Chris stories. Possibly the most over the top. I mean, that was a pretty over the top Chris stories. If we're going to do this for a little bit, but when he just made eye contact with some woman in the subway in New York City, I think it was in the subway,
Yes.
right? And all he did was make eye contact, and I guess she saw him, and apparently she was beautiful. And he got a sense that maybe there might have been some kind of spark, some kind of connection.
She probably just smiled at him like uncomfortably, like, "Oh my god,
Stop staring at me! Stop staring at me!" But this guy. I mean, Chris had like an incredible record collection and comic book collection. And now, granted, he was storing them now, so he was paying money out monthly and stuff. So it was kind of costing him a little bit of money. But that collection was incredible that he had.
Yeah, he had like 75,000 records, I think he said at one point.
That's amazing. And his
And probably about his comic books. I think he had like 3,000 or 4,000 comic books.
Yeah, so he just had tens of thousands of dollars plus worth of all of these stuff. And some of those were really valuable. And he ended up selling one or both of those collections in order to have in order to meet this woman. You remember how he tried to meet this woman?
He's skywriting, right?
Yes, he bought a skywriter. And he apparently, I didn't see it, but apparently,
It was like a paragraph.
Yes, it was. In this case, he did a whole paragraph.
He needed the Blue Angels. He hired them to do it.
He would much better saying we had a party. Yes, rather than in that case. Yeah, hi, we met. We had a party.
Yeah. No, he was describing, we met on the subway on this date. Can you imagine that? No. The woman would have had to travel to another country to finish the sentence.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, man. That's because he ended up telling us how I think the news picked it up actually.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that much. I remember the skywriting thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, after all these years, I don't know, the recollections kind of fading. But those are some good ones. We could talk about Chris for a while for sure.
Yeah.
You and I. So, what's the earliest memory between you and I?
Between you and I?
Yeah, earliest memory.
I think it'd be my dog. I think it might be my dog biting you.
Nah, that was later. Butch. I couldn't have been too much later then.
No, but how old?
Yeah, I only remember. I just remember hearing about it. I don't remember he bit me actually.
I don't think it was like a bite, like hospital. I think he just nipped you on the ass or grabbed your jeans or something like that.
So some of my earliest memories would be Matchbox on the Hills.
Yes,
that was really good. But what about, of course,
you know what I brought up today in work?
What?
Popping bags.
What was it?
Popping leaf bags.
Popping leaf bags. Oh, that's terrible, though, right?
Well,
I was
yeah.
I was gonna say it before. Kids are stupid, right? You were talking about Chris and the burning in his basement. Man, kids are so stupid and so mean it because they're stupid. No idea what the repercussions are. So some old guy spent all day, bagging up those leaves and stuff like that, and we're walking by. Hey, this will be fun. Boom,
Boom.
pop.
Yep.
And they're all over. But you know what? We were doing the environmental friendly thing because you really shouldn't be putting them in plastic bags. So we were really
We
doing.
knew back then.
Yeah, we did. We were way ahead of our time with that. But and again, going to the kids are stupid. I could do a whole show on kids are stupid for sure because we just us alone
Are
we
stupid.
could fill up probably a week's worth of these conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Are stupid, right? But when we were particularly young, one of the very earliest, hey, we're stupid, let's do something stupid things was rolling a bicycle tire down the driveway. You knew you were going to say that, right? Because that goes way back. That's really early on where we stood on top of the neighbor's driveway, of course, because he had the hill, right? So we had to go on somebody else's property.
Yeah, we didn't do it on our own.
Yeah.
Even if it was only 3 feet away, it had to be somebody else's problem.
No, it's true. We always did that. Played football over my sisters. Hanging out. I know your lawn was the best. And at one time he's like, wow, guys, could you just go play around the back? And so we go around. He was really sweet about it. We go around the back, and it's like a bunch of roots.
It was all roots and dirt.
And we're like,
we can't play back here.
We just went right back to the front.
Screw him. We're playing on his front lawn. I don't care what he says.
It was a good lawn. But we took fumble tackle. We killed a man with the ball. We took the tire and it was just a regular bicycle tire. There was no metal inside of it or whatever.
No, it's just the outer tire. Yeah,
but we would wait for a car to come by and roll it down the hill at the car. And the car didn't somebody come out and just yell at us once?
Probably, but we didn't even run.
No,
we just stood there laughing. It wasn't like we were like teenagers and we were like, throwing snowballs at cars and running.
Right.
We were little kids.
Yeah. Yeah, we started the stupidity pretty.
That might have been before double digits.
That was definitely before double digits. Definitely. Do you remember taking a thread, like sewing thread, and going across the road from like your house to my house?
Yeah, having cars run through it. Yes.
Yeah. Right? Because you haven't thought about that in ages, I bet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Remember having catch with the golf ball?
Oh, yeah, thanks for the memories. Yeah, so he threw the ball at me.
I still got a scar.
Nice and high. It got caught up in the sun. At least that's my story now anyway. I can't say for sure. And I missed the ball right into the socket.
No, actually, it wasn't even that. Yeah. It was a golf ball when it bounces, especially on the street, not on the grass, not like when you're playing golf on the grass where it just hits. But when it gets that spin, it like ricochets.
Oh, that's right.
And you didn't catch it. It hit the ground first, and it like ricocheted and caught you right under the eyelid, almost dropped you.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucked. I could actually, I could see the flash.
You, I mean, I was laughing my ass off.
Well, yeah, of course, because that's what friends do.
Exactly.
That's what friends do. Like, for instance, laughing your ass off at another person's misery, my misery too, while we're at it. When you and Steve, that's right, a different Steve, when I drove down to Wildwood, I was in Rochester the day before, Rochester, New York. I drove all the way down to Wildwood, New Jersey, which is like a 10-hour drive or a 9-hour drive or something. I got there that night, and we had a good old time. We drank and had a good old time. But that morning, we woke up, and we were up like pretty early, like 8 o'clock, which is early for us at that age.
Got to do a funnel before breakfast.
Yeah. And I went into the restroom, and I come out, and you guys had a funnel.
Yes.
A funnel. So I started drinking the funnel, and immediately realized that the funnel was spiked with, I think it was like Jameson's or something.
Canadian Club.
It was a Canadian Club?
Yep.
Yeah. Of
course. Because we said the thing was we had to do a funnel before we went to breakfast.
Yeah, because
you watched us pour beer in Steve's, and Steve did his. Then it was my turn. And as I was doing mine, you went to the bathroom, and Steve just was like, hey, this is John's. But you did it like a champ.
Well, yeah, sure. Well, yeah, and I as soon as it touched my lips, I knew exactly what I was in for. Yeah, I knew exactly what I was in for. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. What's that?
You knew what you were in for the rest of the day.
Pretty much, yeah.
It wasn't going to be a good one. Well,
it was a flash forward, but I didn't know it was going to be this bad because then about another half hour later, we were walking along and it was hitting me good, and you had like tripped, and I turned around and started mocking you. You know, I walked ahead.
I fell the night before.
Oh, that's what it was. You fell the night before. And then you had said something. Yeah, then you had said something. I was like, well, at least I didn't, trip and fall or something like that. And as I said that, my ankle gave out. And I fell down like a load of mess.
Yes, you
dire pain. Ankle. Yeah, terrible, terrible pain. I mean, I probably screamed like a little girl at that moment. And all you guys did was come up and stand right over me and go,
we didn't stop.
No, I know you didn't.
You kids kept walking, and it was funny.
No, but you laughed your asses off. No, I remember distinctly you standing over me and pointing down.
We walked by you laughing, just pointing. We didn't stop. You were laying on the ground. We were walking, laughing, and there was a cop driving right down the street next to us.
Ah, that's a good memory. Yeah. Yeah, I just remember a flash of white light. That's all I remember. That's my distinct memory on that. Bright flash of light.
Yep. That excruciating pain and then just blindness.
And hearing like a little girl screaming somewhere in my own head. Oh, man. Hey, so I got these questions here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Can I take a quick break?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Hello. This is still John McParland, and this is still Dysfunctional Dialogue. And I am here with, again, and still, Steve Macaluso, my longtime friend, Steve Macaluso. Is that better, Steve?
Yeah, that's good.
Is that better? All right. So we're about to just get into some questions. These could be funny, right? They could also suck. So we'll see what we do with them, right? So this one, I asked Jim this one the other day. I didn't. It wasn't recorded. I just gave it as an example, but I think you'll appreciate this. I think you'll appreciate when I tell you what Jim's answer was.
Okay.
Would you rather have telekinesis, the ability to move things with your mind, or telepathy, the ability to read minds?
The ability to read minds.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Why? All right. I tell you what. If you don't have an answer right away, that's fine. But let me tell you what Jim said. He didn't even skip a beat. He goes, move things in my mind. Read minds? I don't even want to hear what people have to say. Why the hell would I want to read their minds?
Yeah.
He goes,
but you know what? It would have to be something you could turn on and off. You know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be flooded with everybody's, constant thought.
Yeah, because then he was saying, I would just assume have the ability to, throw things at those people. So to shut them up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought you'd kick out of that. But why? Why read minds? Why?
Yeah, keep people honest. That's about it.
Yeah, but don't you think how cool it would be to be able to move things, though?
Well, yeah.
I mean, think about some of the things you could move. I mean, you could really get a little creative with that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. I mean, you have unlimited power or you can move a fork across the table, but if you want to move a car, you're going to be bleeding from the ears or what?
Why do you gotta put these you can move anything.
Well, I gotta know.
I'm telling you, you can move anything. So, anything. If you could move anything, what would you move?
What would I move?
Yeah, I mean, a fork is boring. What would you move?
Oh, right. I get the Christmas decorations out.
That's not where I thought you were going. That's keeping it clean. Very good. Look at you keeping it clean.
Now you got me thinking. Maybe my shoulder wouldn't hurt.
Yes, you might be able to avoid physical therapy.
Yeah.
It'll be a different kind of therapy altogether.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Would you rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear?
Sing along.
Forced to.
Forced to?
Yeah. I think I hear your wife in the background commenting, oh, my God, that would be the worst thing or something. What'd she say?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. You know why? Because I can't do either. I can't sing and I can't dance. But, dancing, you're going to be tired. And it's funny. I don't know if you've heard that or not. I played it. I haven't never played it for you. When we were at the Queen concert, right? You know, the song Love of My Life,
Sure.
where they get the whole stadium to sing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was trashed. And yeah, go figure. Yeah.
There's some things that you don't have to go ahead and tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I mean, that's just very redundant.
So I tell myself, this is going to be really cool. I'm going to record it, right? With my phone. But the only person you can hear singing is me.
Which is perfect.
And it's horrible.
Oh, even better. That is
horrible.
So good. Because then it's not even like karaoke where you have like the background music that's really helping to cover up how bad it is.
You just hear me off key, off tune, slurring. Yeah, it's. I gotta let you listen to that. I still have that. I'll listen to it one
please,
day.
So I could add. Please send that to me because I literally could add that to this podcast afterwards. I could drop in.
Yeah, well, no, it's not ready for the world yet.
You know, come on. If Chris is ready for the world, that's got to be ready for the world.
Chris,
come on. You know.
All right.
Okay. Would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark movies, or nothing but horror movies?
Horror.
Right. Because watching a Hallmark movie is like watching a horror movie, only worse.
But it's the same movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it becomes the redundancy of the blandness would be.
You know what?
Horrific.
Gail's sister loves the Hallmark movies.
Is that right?
She watches them. She'll sit, if she's not feeling well or something, she'll sit in her house and she'll watch them for like 15 hours straight.
Are you sure that? Well, which came first, though? I mean, maybe that's why she's not feeling well.
Oh, yeah. And we bust her to no end.
Yeah.
Our friend John, we were talking actually, I think it was when we were just over there, like 2 weeks ago, we were there. And our friend John was like, we were talking about that. And he goes, I want to see the guy die at the end just once.
Somebody get maimed. Right?
Yeah. I want to see something horrible happen to these people.
Have the dog end up in a wood chipper.
Exactly. Just once.
Okay. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house? To stick with the horror theme.
I'm going to go with the forest.
Yeah. But what if you had to be naked for both scenarios?
The forest.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I want the house.
Why would you want to be naked in a haunted house for?
Well, I just don't want to be naked outside. I want to. It gets cold at night.
You said be in the forest. You didn't say you were outside. You know, we go camping. I'm going to bring a tent. I'm going to have Jonathan cooking for me. You know.
So you're going to go on. Say that you go on like the Alone show. You know, you're allowed to bring like one thing with you. You'll bring John.
Yeah.
And he'll do all the work for you.
And a roll of duct tape.
Right. Just can I have one thing be one person? Because the guy's got endless energy, man. He sleeps like 2 hours a night, and I remember waking up and having to go to the bathroom and looking over, and he's restacking the wood yet again for like the 15th time that day.
3:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And then when he would sleep, he would just sit there at the fire and kind of doze a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was his sleep for the night. And he'd get up like, okay, it's breakfast time. I don't know how he does it. He's like a robot. We'll do one more.
Okay.
Would you rather be... I'm curious to hear what you're going to say about this. Would you rather be gassy on your first date or your wedding night?
I was gassy on both of them, so it didn't really matter.
I want to know what Gail just said.
She goes, does it really matter?
For that reason.
She said he could care less. That's what she said. I think it was our second date. We were in my car, and I blasted.
Did?
Yeah.
But that's okay, though, and that's exactly why. What's that? What?
I rolled the windows up.
You locked the windows, so she.
Yeah. And she married me.
Yes.
Yeah, she did.